Republicans are just in a position where, or at this point, they just want to win, right? They don't want to be losers. Yeah, well, this was something that was ongoing for a while, ever since the former New York Attorney General was in office. And essentially, it was a conviction that some of the financials were misrepresented, and therefore he paid less in taxes, or at some point overinflated as well. And a jury of his peers found him guilty. Found the company, I should say, I'm sorry, found the company guilty.
Yes, found the company guilty. Trump, I feel like, has used this expression again and again. He says it's politically motivated. Is there anything behind that you can see?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of things to put in perspective. This is a very, this is a very unique situation where a very high-profile business person who had been previously scrutinized over his businesses way before, I mean, decades before this. This is not a new ongoing thing. Happened to run for president, made some salacious comments during president, had sort of some would say a political uprising as a result of some of his speech. So I think most of that is cumulative. But we also understand that this is sort of the former president's go-to, right? He is extremely good at playing this victim role, and it is something that reaches out or really resonates with his voter base. To be honest with you.
We're talking about this victim role. What about the Georgia result? How big a blow is this to him personally, and then, of course, more widely to the Republicans?
Yeah, so I think the Georgia race is a sort of a condemnation. I mean, not coming from me, but coming from senators. I'm on in the Capitol right now. Coming from senators saying, I think Mitt Romney said this is an example that you know. If you are backed by Trump, this is probably, I think he called it a doomsday. I'm sorry, I don't want to misspeak, but
Mm.
essentially saying that it's problematic if you are backed by Trump. We saw many candidates in the past who Trump supported kind of lose, lose and actually most of them that he backed during for the Senate, they actually lost. This is so that's a big condemnation on the president, on the former president, because now the Senate has, or Democrats in the Senate have an even larger control over Congress.
So, just finally, you think that this a sort of association with another high-profile losing candidate, again after sort of poor showing at the midterms, this will, or what are your thoughts? Will this sort of significantly damage the Trump brand with Republican voters?
Well, I think it has, because I think, well, number one, I remember talking to a military person at CPAC, and he said one of his colleagues, or a group of his colleagues, that they were going to see how they would support the president based on his election picks. Well, that didn't turn out in the midterms, and it certainly didn't turn out in the runoff. And just to top all of this off, President Trump was one of the biggest naysayers of voting, early voting, or voting by mail. Well, now Republicans are having this moment where they see they need to pick up or catch up to Democrats and do participate in early voting and encourage their
Yeah.
supporters to come out early.
Mm.
This is, again, another condemnation on the former president.